The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating, empowering, interactive conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Gathering of the Griots with Asada. Wednesdays, Repairing Family Relationships with Naima and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Veggie Brunch Live with Angela. Fridays, Health and Well-Being with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Global Talks with Zana. Second Saturday, Walk in Your Divine Authority with Mama Joy. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. Fourth Saturday, be a judge on the virtual Teens, Tweens, and Tots Talent Contest. And fifth Saturday, join us on location as we conversate at the Elevate Cafe, owner Jackie Brooks. Sundays, join us 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Go to thefemalesolution.com to join us on our video or audio live streaming platforms. Listen at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in on the Blog Talk Radio Network 515-605-9325 or call in and comment on the On-Air Radio Network 727-731-5192. We want to hear from you. And if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
Hope Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom.
In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network. Call 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Have you ever dreamed of going to exotic places, meeting fascinating people, enjoying uplifting music, and spending nights in a luxurious hotel? Do you look forward to a relaxing vacation where you can walk along the beach or sit in a quiet park and enjoy the sunset or sunrise? Whether you're flying around the world or driving across the country, we will share travel tips that will help you stay safe while you enjoy the journey. Join me every third Saturday of the month, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and move around with Deborah here on the Female Solutions Show. Call in and comment 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak.
Yes, please do. Now, I want to just share with you before we get started any further. Move Around with Deborah offers interactive opportunities such as on comment sections on our social media pages, phone calls, and the number you just received, 1-515-605-9325. Press 1 if you'd like to speak. And we like to engage with the audience and that call-in line. Now, our mission is to increase awareness and knowledge, especially in the travel industry. And we encourage a learning environment where thoughtful discussion may safely occur among people around the world, because we are wide world web and we do have a presence around the world. We like to engage in those persons as well. So now we may share some articles, videos, and music. We do not own any of their copyrights, and we will attempt to note the creator before we utilize them. But if we do infringe on any of the creators' said media, please let us know so we can correct and remove them. We don't want to be held responsible for any delays and failures of such removal, but we will do that as quickly as we possibly can. So again, welcome Regina, welcome everyone to today's show. And today, what are we focusing on? Packing. So important. What should you pack? What do you want to pack? What do we end up packing? What do we end up leaving and not having? And what are we just satisfied with? So that is the key. Now, we'll be here for a couple of hours. I want you to make sure everybody is prepared. Get that pencil and paper, write it down. If you have any questions or thoughts, if you put some questions on the Facebook page or something of that nature, please don't hold it to my heart if I miss it. because again, I am not the engineer. I'm just the speaker. How are you today, Miss Queen?
I am very well, thank you. And I'd also like to start off by telling the audience most of the time, what you're thinking about taking, you can probably very safely leave at home. You won't need it.
That is so true. We find that in our many journeys that we've embarked on, that it was a lot. And do you remember, if you can, long time ago, we didn't have the type of luggage that we have now? How did we?
I'm laughing though because I'm thinking about the last cruise that I went on. I have a very, very good friend, and I will not embarrass her by calling out her name. But we got to the airport, and because I'm a stickler of I do combinations, so I will generally take what I call color family. So I'm doing black and white, or maybe with touches of red. So generally everything I'm packing is in that black and white family so that I can mix and match, including shoes, accessories. I've got tops that I can mix and match so that if I get there and I find that it's cooler than I thought, well, I can take the top of this outfit and mix it with the bottom of that outfit, and I can be warm or I can be cooler, whatever I need to be.
That is so.
Well, we get to the airport and her luggage is overweight. Of course, we can't go back home because we got a plane to catch. So we start trying to put on jackets and whatever we can do because we need to take stuff out of her
Yes.
luggage,
Mm-hmm.
and so she can make weight. And fortunately for her, myself and the other friend, we packed extremely light.
Yeah.
So we were able to put on a couple of jackets and then move the rest of it into our luggage and get her underweight. But the thing that was so amazing to me was that this girl had packed a pair of shoes for almost every
Every outfit.
outfit that she had in her luggage. And when we got on the ship, I went, please, I know you did not pack a pair of shoes for, and she, yeah, I did. And I showed her how I had packed, and she was amazed because I mean
Right.
I had casual, I had dress, and I even had loungewear, for when I just got up and was going to the shower or going to the pool, and
Going to breakfast. Yes.
I could not for the life of me figure out how she had managed to pack all the shoes was what caused her to go
But
overweight.
that's typically, I did that one time. I packed a whole suitcase full of shoes. Now we were doing a road trip, but still, I had a whole suitcase full of shoes. And when I got to my destination, I had left that suitcase at home. And I survived. So it's okay. You can survive without and that's part of what we're going to focus on today. uh, Investing in a scale before you leave home. You weigh your luggage so you don't have to get to the airport and you're shifting, or you're going to have to pay extra, or you're going to leave some things. Now, every 30-hour, we're going to take a commercial break because we got to pay our advertisers and we want you all to focus on our advertisers. But before we go any further, you know how I always like to start our show off with airports, because I believe in most cases, the airport is your first destination, especially since you got to be there so long throughout the day. before you travel, you have to be there, you have to position yourself to be at the airport at least 2 hours for a domestic flight and at least 3 hours prior to an international flight. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. Sometimes you're sitting there and waiting. It depends on what airport you're leaving out of, what situations, but always know that the airport is your first destination. So I found that, did you know that Denver Airport was the largest airport in North America?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well, as a travel agent, I have made it my business to get to know the airports in which I travel. And I always try to find out as much as I can about an airport that I'm in so that I can pass on tidbits to my clients who may have, unfortunately, have to be there so that it can make their travel a
Yes.
bit more comfortable. I can share with them, well, since you're going to be there for 2 hours, you might want to avail yourself of this service, this restaurant, this service that they may offer. Some of them have different things that you can partake of while you're there.
Mhm.
So if you didn't get a chance to get your nails done, there's a salon at this particular airport that you can go get your nails done, or you can get your hair cut, or whatever you might want to do.
Because that happens. We're so busy with the hustle and bustle of getting ready and packing, and we miss out on getting our nails done or getting our hair done or eating or, or
Yes.
other things that we have. You're talking about restaurants. There is a new website. It's www.ordshopdine.com, and that's at O'Hare at the International Terminal, which is Terminal 5. And now they deliver the food to you at that terminal. Now, other airports have this service as well, so it's up and coming. But Terminal 5 is a newer remodeled terminal, so that's exciting for that. And one of the airports that I always enjoy going to, and I find the art is so amazing, is the Atlanta airport.
It's
Now, I thought that was
beautiful.
the largest one because it's
Yeah.
and it's got so much going on, so much to do, that that one was really exciting. So yes, that's our airport news. And then the next thing, of course, we always want to keep up with the weather. Oh,
Yeah.
the weather is so important. So many things are going on across the country and around the world, and we just want to pay attention. Did you notice in the weather that the hurricanes are out in the ocean, but the rip currents are affecting the shorelines? So if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to the beach or something of that nature, and I'm going to try to swim, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, even the whales were getting out the way of the storms when they came close to the shoreline. And
And that should tell you something, because if an animal that big and that's their native habitat has
yeah,
enough sense to figure, I got to get out the way. We as human beings
there's
ought
something
to
going
be observant and take likewise and get out the way. But hurricanes are, I guess you would say, I pay a little bit more attention to them than I used to. When I left Chicago briefly to move to Houston, I checked out everything, I'm sorry to say, but the weather. It
on.
never dawned on me that uh, I don't know why, but I didn't pay attention to the weather forecast. I was not aware that a hurricane was bearing down on Houston until my flight landed.
Mm,
And I wondered why the airport was so empty And the man said, "Oh, your flight's the last one to land before they close the airport." And I said, "Before they close the airport?" He said, "Yeah, you know the hurricane's supposed to land between 2 or 3 o'clock this one." I said, "The who?" He
Oh
said, "Oh,
my.
you didn't know the hurricane?" No, because I probably wouldn't have got on the airplane had I known that.
Right.
And he said, "Yeah, uh, we got to have." He said, "Well, we shouldn't get hit too bad because we're like 50 miles from the uh, port." I said, "Oh my God!" And it was really an experience. Uh, even being 50 miles away from port, it still was a what they call minimal damage. Now I've lived with tornadoes all my life, so
Mhm.
I was not immune to wind and water damage, but it was still just something to see. And I was like,
Yes.
I thought Galveston was so, so pretty. But
Oh,
to see
good.
the aftermath of what it had done, I was like, oh no. I had thought Galveston would be my retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
But after I saw how the hurricane tore up, I was like, oh no, I would never be able to live there because okay, you could leave and you could come back, but still to come
Right.
back to that kind of destruction,
This
I would never be able
devastation.
to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a lot. And we living in the Midwest, we don't get the effects unless we're, close to that
Unless you see it
area.
with your own eyes, you won't believe it. And to see those people, I mean, all your memories and things of
Mhm.
that nature just
Gone,
gone like that.
gone, just wiped out.
Yeah.
And we try to hold on, sometimes we're hoarders and we try to hold on to things, but there are folks that have lost everything, livelihoods, and they're still surviving. So we have to look at trying to now live as minimalists and survive without some of those things.
And
You talked about how the airplane landed, and they were talking. Okay, that's the last one, but you notice that they were comfortable in landing. They were comfortable in securing their equipment. They were comfortable in that. Those are the same things that the cruise ships are when they're involved in traumatic weather. They make sure that they move those cruise ships out of the storm
yeah,
as quickly as possible. They look at the forecast and they kind of know, just like those they might reposition them, they might bring them back to port earlier, they might keep them out a couple of days later. You may be a little inconvenienced. What was the Tampa was just affected, so those cruise ships had to stay out at sea or in the Gulf for a few days
yeah.
so the storm can go by. So those are some of the things that we have to look at when we are saying, oh, I don't want to travel now because there's a storm. Don't let that hinder you. Don't allow that to hinder you. We don't know what's going to happen.
This is true. And then sometimes there are really uh, better deals if you're willing to travel in some of those areas where storms are prevalent during this season. You can get a better deal to go
Yes.
along some of those lines than you otherwise would if you traveled at a different time. And a lot of times, the disturbance, if you will, isn't as great as you think it might be, because
Exactly.
you think the storm is going to disrupt, and the storm may have blown over and it doesn't disrupt at all, because it's a storm. You may think it's going along this path and it may decide to go in the other
Go
direction and
another
not even disrupt
direction.
your trip. So
Right. Or your travels may be in flow with the storm that it does not cause such a rift.
yeah.
So yeah, so those are some of the things. But I do want to say, with these challenges that we come through with traveling, and I did a little snippet yesterday talking about passports. It is so important for you to have a passport. You never know where you're going to travel to. You're going to say, oh, I'm not going to travel outside of the country. But what if somebody gives you a free trip? You're going to say, oh, no, you're going to say, oh, yes. But then you're going to think about it. Oh, I don't have my passport. And, if you have it, those passports, they last. The passport book, it's key to understand the difference in a passport card and a passport book. I had an associate, a friend of mine, told me that they were traveling and they were flying to Mexico. And they were told that the passport card was sufficient. And I said, no.
They are not created equal.
No, I said, no, that's not right. She said, well, that's what they told me at the passport office. I'm like, well, he gave you some incorrect information. The difference is a passport card is only good if you're driving across the Canadian or the Mexican borders. It's only if you are driving. That passport card is a little more it's a little cheaper. Now I'm going to use the word cheaper in this. It's cheaper, but it does not cover you going into other countries. You have to have that passport book. A lot of cruise lines say, oh, you don't have the passport. It's okay. You can still travel with your state identification, your valid state identification, and a certified birth certificate. Well, that's true in most cases. Unless you're cruising from the United States into Alaska, then you definitely need a passport. But if you go into a port such as Cancun or Mexico or Jamaica or somewhere else, and you don't have that passport, if there's a situation where you have to get off the ship because you missed the ship when it was time to get back on, which a lot of people do, or you get sick, get in an accident, or for some reason you get put off of the ship, you need that passport to get back into the United States. If you do not have it, it's going to be very costly and time consuming for you to get back into the country.
I would tell my clients, don't leave home without your passport book. It's just that simple. For the few extra dollars that it costs, it is well worth it in the event that you need it. It is one of those, it's just like insurance. You would much rather have the insurance when you need it than to need it and not have it. Insurance only costs you a few dollars each month. But when you need to file a claim, you are ever so grateful that you have paid those few dollars, and you are then able to file that claim and get whatever you need taken care of than when you don't have it and you are on the other end being sued for whatever.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to defend yourself without attorneys or without the protection that having insurance affords you. It is so much easier.
It's an investment. It's part of your travel investment. Who is the man that spent, he spent $30,000 on a trip to take his family, and he did not get that travel insurance, and they were out of $30,000 because they missed, certain segments of their trip. But travel insurance is essential. You have home insurance, you have car insurance. Some countries, it's mandated that you have travel insurance. And travel insurance, there are different kind of travel insurances. Yes. And you need to know what kind. There's comprehensive travel, which protects your trip with cancellation, interruption, delay, and some medical benefits. Then you have medical travel while you're traveling abroad. If you get sick or get in an accident and you have to go to the hospital, they'll take care of you. If you have to be evacuated back to your home because of an illness, they'll take care of you. There's evacuation insurance that allows you to be transported to an appropriate facility, because a lot of times, we travel to these exotic places and they don't have medical things. They still use
then
the elevator.
some of it you don't necessarily want to be treated in some of these locations because they do not have the facilities at like what we are used to being treated. So you prefer that they send you back home, and that's where the passport comes in, because if you don't have that passport book, they can't put you on a plane and send you back home. So now you sit and you got to wait for your cruise boat to ship to get you back home for you to be treated.
But what if you're sick, you get in an accident and you have to go to a hospital in one of these other countries and you don't have that medical insurance and you can't afford to pay for your services? Well, either they won't give you the service or they'll hold you somewhat hostage until you are available to pay. Because if you go home and you got that bill, it's not like, we're at home and we get those medical bills and they say, okay, we'll bill you. It's not like that there. They want their money before you leave their country.
They don't have to treat you until if you don't have the money.
Right.
Because you're not their citizen, so they don't have to do anything for you.
Not at all. Not at all. And these are some of the things that are so valuable to you traveling. I mean, these are essential no matter where you're going. If you're going from one part of the country to the other part, one end to the east, to the west, north, to the south, in between, because we travel all over. These are some of the things that you need to have on board. We talked about passports, going back to passports. Passports will supersede those real ID changes that we're going to eventually have. They pushed the date back again to 2025, I think, sometime. But the real ID will supersede, that passport will supersede you having that real ID. And so that's something else that you want to look into to have for your opportunities in travel. So we're going to get ready for our first commercial break. I want to again thank you, Regina, for being here. It is such a pleasure to you being our co-host today. And I want everybody to prepare themselves, get that pencil and paper, because you want to jot down these tips. Or if you already know these tips, you might have a question or a concern that you might want to reach out to one of us and get those answers for. So I want to make sure that we get what you need, and we are going to come back as soon as possible. So hold on just a moment, a few moments.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. mahlatif.com. Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Life transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solutions Global Radio TV show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet Radio hosts. On Air. On Air empowers you with transformative news and interactive radio TV shows. This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement. On Air offers a fantastic global guide to communicators from all over the world who are using their internet platforms to inspire us to strive to be our best selves in order to become the kind, compassionate, loving people we were all born to be. Once we do that, we'll see planet Earth transformed into a place of peace. Subscribe to the recommended YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and podcasts created by these Voices of Enlightenment. On Air provides daily news briefs and a weekly magazine to keep you abreast of events and opportunities. On Air news affiliates in television, radio, and print share information, insight, and interviews with notable personalities. Go to onaireverywhere.com for a daily dose of uplifting news. We're on air everywhere, online all the time.
Yes, yes. What wonderful travel music we have. Well, thank you for being here. Welcome back to everyone. I hope you got that pencil and paper. And if you want to join us online so you can speak, ask a question, or join in the conversation, please do so by calling 515-605-9325. That's 515-605-9325, and press 1 to speak. Make sure you also, if you're on our social media pages, you like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, and enjoy. So again, thank you for being here. Welcome back. Welcome. Excuse me. And we certainly appreciate our guest host, Ms. Regina Sampson. Yay. We appreciate you being here and bringing all of your knowledge that you have in the travel industry. This is an industry that is continuing to grow and change every day. You are are a professional. You've been in this business a long time. You have so many great tips and it has experienced different things and knows what should and should not be. I just want to say that again, packing is a phenomenon. Actually, packing is one of the most important goals that you got to achieve of your pre-planning.
Yes.
You have to have goals. You have to know what did I always say? The who, what, where, why, when, and how.
Yes.
Because if you don't do it properly, it can bring discomfort, and we want as much joy in our life as we can. Remember that song by Erica Badu? Bag lady, you gonna hurt your back dragging all them bags like that.
Yeah.
We have to do what we have to do in order to know what to pack. And it depends on your travel plans. Some say to avoid taking too much is not to wait till the last minute. But for me, I have to visualize. It's just like when I was in corporate America. I could not pre-arrange what I was going to wear to work. I had to, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to put this on. Being able to do that, of course, you already have to have your things in order, of course, but I could not pre-do because then I get confused. Oh, well, I was going to wear that, but now I think I'll wear this. No, those shoes is not going to work with me, or that hat is not going to be good, or I don't want to change purses. Just let me get up and do. So what I do now is I visualize what I want to pack. As you say, let's color coordinate what we want, and then make sure that it's available. Make sure that you sent everything to the cleaners, and all of those clothes are washed and prepared, and they're clean. But I don't put anything in my luggage until the day before. And I lay everything out, pack it in the luggage, and put the luggage by the front door the day before. So in order to really understand what you're going to pack, you have to know how you're traveling, because there's different ways to pack in different situations. If you're doing a road trip, you're packing one way. You're traveling by train, that's another way. And of course, if you're traveling by air, that's a whole different shift. So what are your thoughts? Where are you going? What is the climate going to be? You get those apps on your phone. Do you have that weather app on your phone?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely now.
You got to keep up with the weather and the forecast. You may think it's a warm climate, but that could change. We are going into a situation where the climates they're shifting. You really don't know. You think you're going to a beach and you've got to have a coat. You've really got to have a sweater or a blanket. And so you really need to know. So what are your thoughts on that aspect? Understanding where you're going, what the climate is, what you're going to pack, and why are you going? Who are you responsible for packing for? That's another thing. If I'm packing for me, I probably got a bag already ready.
Yeah. That's true. And then what are you going to do while you're there?
Right.
Because the activities that you're going to engage in are going to also influence how you're packing. Are you going to have some formal, nice out? Are you going to the beach? That's a whole nother set of type of clothing that you will need to take.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to the theater? Are you going to nightclubs or things of that nature? That's another type of clothing that you will need to take. But then you can also consider how many types of engagements that you will be attending. Can you combine the
Right.
types of clothing that you will be taking? What can you
Interact.
mix and match?
Mm-hmm. When can you interact? And you don't have to. We usually at home we do a lot of jewelry accessorizing. Don't do the jewelry, do the scarves. Because jewelry can get lost or, shifted around. But if you want to accessorize with scarves. They're easy to pack in. And, it's a lot. And those shoes, again, I never, those shoes, that's a stickler for so many people. Wear your heaviest shoe. That's your walking shoe. When you travel, as you travel, you wear your heaviest shoe. That way you don't have to pack them and weigh down your luggage. And then carry some flats. You don't have to have all those fancy heels. I remember we went to Vegas one time, and the gentleman that we ran across, we were interacting with, he said, "You ladies are from Chicago." I'm like,
How does he know that?
because we were all fly. We had the sparkles and the rhinestones and the heels and the purses, and he said, and he was right. We don't
Mhm.
need that. Are you going to show off for you or for somebody? Or are you going to travel to be comfortable and relax, blend in? And that's another thing. When you pack for traveling, don't pack something that you can't afford to lose.
And I would add to that, though, you also don't want to look like a tourist where you're going, because then you stand out as a target, especially if you are females traveling alone. You
Yes,
want to blend in with the scenery as much as possible so that you don't set yourself up as target.
right. That is so true. And now to be safe, we have so many factors that are involved. They say you see something, you say something, but who's watching you? Who, do you have that sign on your back? My name is this is my first trip, and all of that. No, you don't want to bring all of that attention to yourself.
I look like I've never been out of town by myself. I'm easy pickings. Come get me.
Right. And they will. They will. You know, trafficking, human trafficking is for real.
Yes, it is.
We may hear about it and see about it on television and say, "Oh, that won't happen to me," but it can if you set yourself up to vulnerability. Now, you can be strong and it can still happen, but you don't want to be a target. You won't want to put yourself in a targeting position,
Yes.
because they will tag on you. Uh, One of the things that I found out yesterday, and I had not ever heard about it. Have you ever heard of the disposable sheets?
No.
You know how nowadays folks go to other hotels and whatnot, rather no matter how they're traveling to get to them. But they and even I've been to places, uh, especially those Airbnbs, and I'm taking my own linen and my own towels and whatnot, because I don't trust other folks' cleaning and whatnot. But I never heard of the disposable sheets. You now can purchase disposable sheets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the pillowcases, how we don't want to suck on the pillowcases and that they provide. We hear all of these stories about uncleanliness and whatnot. So we're taking our linens and whatnot. But now, yeah, you can have those disposable sheets. So yeah, when we're packing for a road trip, do you remember the road trips when we're packing in the cars and we used we would have the chicken dinners?
Oh yes, I remember the chicken.
We'd have the cooler and the food, the chips, all the snacks and all the clothes and it was just so much going on. But we were able just to put them in our vehicle and didn't have a care in the world. Okay, here's another bag. Here's another bag. Here's another bag. And it was just adding up. And the children were active. We would have different things for the children to do. We would have the blankets and the pillows and all of that. So that's that road trip travel. Then the train, I found that when I traveled on Amtrak, it wasn't as secure, of course, as traveling by plane. And if you had the bags, you typically had to travel on the cobblestone sidewalks with your bag and go a long way. But then in storing your bag, you would store your bag because there wasn't a porter as there used to be. Remember the porters from long ago when we were carrying those bags like this? The porters used to help, and now they just show you where to put the bag. They don't necessarily.
Yeah, they don't necessarily put them up there for or down there for you.
No, and then you got to walk up the stairs unless you have a cabin. It is really different in the way that we travel by train now.
Yeah.
But some folks don't like to fly. Some folks love that downtime that train travel would provide. I don't know if you traveled with us when we went to New Orleans right before Katrina.
Yeah.
Okay, we were on the train.
Yeah. And it brought back a lot of memories because I had not traveled by train since I was very young. I think the last train trip my parents took me. So, that was, I was probably 7, 8 years old. So it brought back a lot of memories. And I have told my daughter I want to take my grandchildren because I think every child should have that experience. But
yes.
It has changed significantly from what I remember.
Yes. But it was still interesting.
Yes, it was interesting. I can say.
I think I'd rather have even the washroom facility.
Yeah, it was very different from what I remember.
Yeah, they were different. It was a community bathroom.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe I was too young to remember, or maybe it was just that my mom took me, so I didn't remember it being community, but I didn't remember that part.
I didn't remember it either. But again, maybe because we weren't paying attention to it.
Yeah, that's possible too.
It wasn't part of our concern. We were just happy to be somewhere, happy to be traveling. And that's what it was. But most of the folks, when we're packing, the challenge is when you're packing for airline travel. That's when you have to be very strategic in packing. And we all know the horror stories of people losing their luggage. One of the biggest keys into your luggage is labeling your luggage, labeling it in a way that you have your own name tag that's closed in, not again broadcast. Here's my tag. You have your own. It could be in a leather casing or whatever. Excuse me. And also, you have the tags that the airlines put on it. So
And I would
those,
also add that you also need to have tags inside your luggage as well as on the outside, because there is also always the opportunity for the outside tags to come apart from your luggage. And in the
yes.
event that that happens, all of our luggage looks alike depending on what kind it
Oh,
is. And you need to be able to have a way to identify your luggage in the event that that tag were to
comes on.
come from it.
Mm-hmm. And there's many ways that you can decorate your luggage on the outside so you can see it coming around the turnstile. That's fine. Because you see so many people, there are only so many colors in the rainbow. You see so many people looking at the black tag or looking at the orange tag or looking at the purple tag, and that's not, no. So have some identifying something, whether it's on the strap or it's affixed actually on your actual luggage.
Yes.
But yeah, having your identification inside your luggage is key, because as those luggages go through those turnstiles and whatnot, they could get hung up on something. And that could be snatched off. That handle could be snatched off. That tag could be snatched off. But one of the things that I found, a lot of people had luggage that was mislabeled or misshipped. It's because they did not remove the previous tag the airline had put on.
Yes. That's
And you have
crucial.
to do that.
Crucial, because otherwise you have to realize they also operate on a time basis. They have so many seconds really to put
Mhm.
those bags where they're going. And they're going to glance at the first tag they see and boom. So if you don't take it upon yourself to remove that last airline tag, that's your bag could be, you went to North Carolina, that's where your bag is going to be.
Go stay
Instead
right
of
there.
Tennessee where you were trying to get it to.
Yes, that is so essential, so essential. So as you're packing, and I guess we'll focus on airline packing, because that's most crucial. As you're packing, I know a lot of people they're buying these packing cubes now. Yeah, I bought one just to see what it was about. Now, this packing cube is big, but they come in different sizes. And I thought it was pretty because it goes with my luggage. But I don't know if I'll ever use it, because I use this packing cube. This is the packing cube that I use. It's water safe. It's roll up safe, and you can make sure that you put everything in it. I can take it out of my suitcase. I can put it in the drawer if I'm going to be at a destination a long time and I don't want to live out of the suitcase. I can put it in the drawer in this bag, and I don't have to too much worry about extra folks or extra items getting inside of them. But yeah, it's a big phenomenon of these packing cubes. I they're okay. They also talk about the compression shrink bags. Now, in my experience, a compression shrink bag is good if you're storing something at home. But what will happen is, if you're shrinking your bags in for luggage, not only will they kind of get wrinkled, but you'll tend to pack more in that luggage. And even though the air is not there, the weight of the item is still there. So you'll be involved with some buying something at the counter, buying more, and I think luggage now is like $50 each way. If it's overweight, depending on what airline, I don't know. But it is a costly thing that you don't want to deal with, if you could have avoided it in the beginning.
Well, I try very hard to, like I told you, I'll get there and I'm gonna underpack before I overpack. I'm just not going to. I refuse to give the airlines my money.
Yeah, they already got a lot of it.
That's the way I figured they got enough when they charged me for that ticket.
Right.
I am not interested in giving them any additional bucks if I can at all keep from it.
If you can avoid it, yeah.
And especially for something that I did to myself, no.
Now
so my motto is if I'm gonna need something additional, I'll get it on the other end. I'm not gonna pay them extra because I packed too many whatevers.
And it happens all of the time. You see people at the gate, well, not at the gate, but at the counter, having to shift clothes, having to take off and put on clothes, put on jackets. I know somebody who wears most of their clothes from the beginning. That was unusual. But they put on most of their items and that they omit that part. So that is something that you definitely, I'm like, okay, is this how we're going to do it? Okay, if that works for you, I'm so glad. I am so glad. But these packing cubes are key. A blanket is another. I'm just dropping all my props. A blanket or a shawl or a sweater is something else that you definitely need to carry with you. And I think when we come back, we'll talk about the importance of that carry-on, especially when you are traveling. Some folks, they take full advantage of, you got the carry-on, the one luggage that's 20 inches. And then you got the backpack and you got your purse. Some people take full advantage of all of that. And if you have all of those items, then it is a safe bet that you don't have to check anything, but you have to carry it all.
Yeah, see, that to me, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's not the luxury travel that I'm interested in. And whenever I travel, I want to travel in luxury, especially if I'm flying. Now, if I'm in the car, it's like we throwing everything in.
In the back seat or in the trunk anyway. So
we throwing the bleach, the cleaning. We throwing everything in there just in case. That's the same.
But it's going in the trunk. But I don't want to have to carry out, because then I got to lug all that stuff out into the airport and then lug all of it out. No,
we're not. And then the gate that you got to go to is way on the other side of who knows what. Depending on where you are, what airport you're in, it is too much. So we're gonna break again. We're going to go and get our next commercial break. And I want to thank you all for being here. Chime in. Let us know that you're interested in what we're saying, or you have some questions or concerns about what we're talking about. And we will share that, because if you have that question, somebody else may have it as well. So please hold on. We'll be right back.
All right, Deborah.
Hey, it's time to take charge of your health. I'm Deborah, your
Can you hear me?
coach, and every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'm here on the Female Solution to empower you to make choices that will assist your evolution to abundant health. I'm also blogging every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Thank you. See you on the 20th.
Bring you a spiritual chiropractic adjustment to bring you back into alignment with our Creator's love, compassion, and wisdom. Join me every Friday morning at 8 a.m. and Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. for a time of unity, enlightenment, and love vibration. Come on. Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed, into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Delta Speak for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit DeltaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress release coach, Delta Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Delta Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening. What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Suzanne Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Suzanne. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today. Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, we had to say goodbye to our co-host, Miss Regina Sampson. But we are so appreciative for the time that she gave us. It was an amazing, she's an amazing woman, full of information and opportunity. So we know we'll have her back again soon, giving us more travel tips, focusing on other opportunities in the travel industry that we have for those of you who are interested. And also, don't forget, if you want to have a conversation with us today, or with me now, because she's gone, just dial in 515-605-9325. That's 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak, and we will bring you on so you can join in that conversation. You know, I kind of looked up the history of suitcases. And you want to know where the word suitcase came from. It was a case for suits for men as they traveled, because, you know, a lot of men traveled for business, and they were the big, like, trunks, as they were made out of leather and cardboard. And they've been around for a long time, you know, over 100 years. And we know that people have been traveling since the beginning of time. So there's always been some type of container that is used. But it is amazing. Again, as we started talking about the earlier part of this conversation, how we used to have to carry the luggage to and fro wherever we were going, whether it would be for train travel, car travel, you know, even air travel. These wheels just started coming on the luggage. And I remember the first time I saw wheels on the luggage, it was still the square box, and they had wheels like at the bottom, and you would have a string, and you would be pulling your luggage behind you. And then it devolved. They put the handle on it from the top, and you started pulling it behind you that way. Now, the newer luggage, you just push it and it kind of goes. I don't know. I think somebody's luggage has a little motor to it. Can you imagine? It's so many different developments with luggage, but I am so glad to be a part of that. If you want to know more about the history of luggage, of course, the Smithsonian has something for you. And they have the Smithsonian Museum, they have everything that you might want to think about in history. They have it for you. But now the luggage is, as we talked about before, it's the kind that you can drag along with you. It all looks the same. It's all the same color. I remember in looking and researching the older luggage, I remember the tags, the labels, the stickers, they used to go on the different luggage. And I guess that's how folks knew whose luggage was what. Now, again, they're all the same. They're all the basic colors of the rainbow. Although some of them are really clever. They got some really beautiful rainbow styles to them, but they're far and few between. Some of the ways that you can put identifying marks on your luggage is they wrap scarves around the handles, you know, decorative scarves, or scrunchies, you know, the bath scrunchies. I've seen people wrap them around it and have a whole lot of them on there. But you have to be careful, like I said, with some of those things, because as they go through the turnstiles and as they go through the process of getting from the desk onto the plane, there's a lot of mechanics that they have to go through, and it can be caught up on something and be snatched and cause a whole lot of challenges, and you want to be aware of that. Also, luggage when it's going through those challenges, it'll get damaged, it'll get dented, it'll get broken, the wheels will get broken. So you have to think to yourself, either I'm going to invest in my luggage and in that insurance, because that insurance covers your luggage as well, or you're just going to be a fly on the wall and whatever happens, happens. Oh, I wanted to say happy Mexican Independence Day. It's being celebrated all around, especially in my city. But it's being celebrated. And it's the independence, Mexico's independence from Spain. Did you know about that? Oh, you get a whole lot of information here on the Female Solution. Did you notice the commercials where we're talking about our different hosts? We're here every day. Yes, each and every day. We don't have to miss a day. We're here each and every day. Monday through Friday, we're here at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Although whatever time is in your country or in your part of the country, correlated to Central Standard Time, because that's the only time that I'm going to recognize to give you. And then on Saturdays, of course, from 12 o'clock noon to 2 p.m. And then on Sundays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So, and on top of that, oh, I'm so excited about this part. If you missed something, you missed a segment, or you were in a segment and you got pulled away, the phone or just everyday life pulls you away, they're all recorded, not only on the social media, but on the Blog Talk Radio. And so you can always go back. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. So to make sure that we are getting all of the information to navigate your life. And we know that life in travel can be so exuberating. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. So going back to packing. Now, we were talking about luggage and the different ways to pack. Some people are packing as a minimalist. Some people are packing everything so they don't forget something. So remember, as you pack for luggage in air travel, you must understand that there is a charge, even with some carry-ons. Some airlines are charging for carry-ons. But it is so important for you to understand what you can carry on. Because now when you're carrying items, and there's a whole list, TSA.gov will provide you an entire list of things that you can and cannot bring through the airport in your check and your carry-on. Did you know that there are some rules of some things that you can't even bring through a carry-on? Yes. But understand that when you're traveling, you have to go through what they call the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA.gov. And if you go to their site, they do have a travel checklist of things that you can and cannot bring on, when you can and can carry it, and those types of things. So some of the things, especially before packing, because again, we're making sure that we are packing properly. Liquids, gels, aerosols, those types of things, carry-ons must be the 3-1-1 liquid rules, which means 3.4 ounces or less per container. And you can go to the store and get you some of those little containers. And each store, even the grocery stores, typically have a travel section in the drugstore area. And they have little travel things that you can pick up. I was fortunate enough to find Lysol, travel size Lysol, and that's exciting. I did take this through TSA. Now I would not. I would put it in my checked luggage. If I am checking luggage, I would put it in my checked luggage. And again, make sure that you put everything that you pack in the Ziploc bags, because even with liquids and aerosols, those types of things, they can come open from the pressure. So I want you to know that you should put everything, and of course, liquid in a Ziploc bag. So if the pressure makes it so it pops it open and squeezes out, your clothing is protected. Yes. So anyway, and they say put that in a 1 quart size clear plastic Ziploc bag for all your liquids, and they must fit into that one bag. You are suggested to review the prohibited items list. Yes, prohibited items. Oh, yeah. Now, it says aerosol insecticide. This is a long list. And again, you get that list off of tsa.gov, but it'll tell you, search from A to Z. Aerosol insecticides, carry-on bags, a big red X. No. Check bags, yes, but special instructions. So as long as they're not labeled hazmat, you can carry them. Air mattresses, you say people carry air mattresses? Yes, they do, especially if they're going somewhere, like if they're going to camp out or they're going to an Airbnb or something like that. They carry an air mattress. It's heavy to me. Can you carry it in your carry-on bag? Yes, there are special instructions with that. And of course, you can put it in your check bags. You know how we do the airbrush makeup machine? Some people, that little tube and they pour the makeup. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. And they airbrush. You can take that on your carry-on and your check, but devices containing lithium metal or lithium ion batteries should be carried in your carry-on baggage. Please, 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 please. It is crucial that anything that has a battery be put in your carried-on bags. Why? Because if that battery, that lithium batteries, they tend to explode or they tend to overheat. And if it is overheating in your luggage that is in the carry-on, in the belly of the plane, it's overheating, it explodes. We don't know that there's an explosion. There's no containment. And now we're all in danger. Because there is a fire on the plane and we don't know about it. It can happen still in your carry-on baggage, but at least you're more familiar with it being there. Okay? You're more familiar with it being there. Liquor. No liquor on your carry-on, in your carry-on. Please. They say you can less than 3 ounces. So that's one of them little small containers. Just, avoid it. Now, a lot of times when we are traveling, they want you to, of course, put it in your check bags if your bags haven't gone through the checking process yet. But if you're in another country and the liquor is inexpensive and you're at the duty-free shop at the airport, which a lot of times happens, and you can buy liquor. The liquor must be sealed in its container and in its box, and you can carry on to the plane in a carry-on that way, or in its own containers that way. But that is the only way that you can do that. And then you still have to check with your airlines. It's suggested that you check with your airlines. Another thing, I was not aware that any liquor over 140 proof they're trying to ban. Yeah, I was not aware. So you can't carry any liquor that's 140 proof or more, like 151 rum or 190 Everclear. You say, how do I know about that? Ammunition, no, please. And also be carry. You folks with the concealed carry in your state, that doesn't mean you can conceal carry in another state. Even if you are, you can't do that. In your check bags, ammunition, they say is okay. But carry on, no, don't even think about it. Don't get hung up. Don't hold up the line at TSA and we all rushing to get to our plane because we're already running late. And you holding up the line because you got some stuff that you wasn't supposed to have. No ammunition. Lighters, not in your check bags. Again, we talked about that. The electronic lighters, the e-lighters, nothing in your check bag. In your carry-on under special circumstances. So again, there's a full list on tsa.gov of things that you can bring on through TSA, on the airplane. Okay. Packed items in layers, shoes, 1 layer, clothes, 1 layer, electronics, 1 layer. I don't know. Fireworks, of course, no. Don't bring the fireworks. Just go to look at the fireworks. Don't bring the fireworks. Don't pack items such as box cutters, utility knives, razors, and carry-ons. Those are all considered weapons, and you should not be carrying them. Electronics, make sure that you pack them unless you're TSA approved, but you pack them because you're going to have to take them out of your carry-on. We're talking about carry-ons now. If you're traveling with a pet, be sure to bring a leash so carriers can be properly screened. The carriers, because if you're bringing a pet, most pets have to be small enough to go into a carrier. But the carriers have to be searched when they go through TSA. So you got to leash your pet and then let them go through the carrier and then, do what you want to do. I don't know. We'll talk about pets on another show because we got some folks that'll watch your pet while you're going and traveling. I'm just saying. Again, give yourself enough time to arrive at the airport early. You don't have any clue as to what the traffic is going to be to the airport. You have no clue as to what the crowd is going to be. You could say, oh, I'm going on the first flight and everybody else is going on the first flight. So when you get to the airport might not even be open yet, but there's a line snaking around the airport for folks waiting to get in. Yes, there's a lot of folks that travel at 5 o'clock in the morning. So make sure that you are fully prepared and available. Wear easily removable shoes, but wear closed in shoes. I always suggest that you wear closed in shoes because you never know when a situation may happen where you're running around with those flip flops and you can't run in flip flops. You don't want to take them off because there may be some glass or something on the ground. You have to be careful with that. If you have a disability or a medical condition, you can call TSA ahead of time for help. You can let your airlines know when you check in that you'll need assistance in some way. They're very good about that. I have found that they are very good. And I'm going to tell you, the airport in Honolulu, oh, now I don't want to take anything away from any other airport. The customer service is pretty good at all the airports, but the airport in Honolulu, Hawaii, oh, I love them. They are exciting. So make sure that if you're TSA pre-check, you go to the right lane. If you are other global entry, go to the right lane, and expedite. Have your ID and boarding pass out for inspection. Now, we're talking about ID and boarding pass. You should keep your passport, identification, your check-in, print all of that out. I know you can have it on your phone. I know. But what if your phone dies for whatever reason? What if you drop it and it breaks? What if you don't get good signaling at where you are for whatever reason, and that phone is not working? Well, you have a paper document. You have a document for your boarding pass. You have a document for your insurance. You have a document for your hotel stay. You have a document for your transportation and whatever other documents you might need. And you have them all in one spot. That way, when you have that backpack or that big purse, you're not fumbling around. And when you get finished with a document, when somebody asks to see your identification or your passport or whatever, put it back before you leave that counter, put it back in there. Make sure you gather all of your things. So many times we hear over the intercom system for Jane Doe or Joe Blow. Should I say that? Joe. Oh, to come back because you left something. Be attentive to what you're doing. I know it's a lot of hustle and bustle. I know we're excited because we're getting away. But we want to be attentive to what we are doing. So it could be like this, or it could be something else, whatever. Just make sure you have everything. And talking about that before we go to our last break, you all are so good to me, allowing us to go to these breaks and giving you this information. But make sure that you have left a copy of your documents, your itinerary at home or with someone that is your emergency contact. Also, a copy of your passport and your identification, and also a copy of all those documents in another place on your person. It could be in a suitcase or, in your carry-on suitcase or in a pocket or in a sleeve or, in a sock. I don't know. Just make sure you have copied your documents twice, once for you on your person and once for someone at home, your loved one, your emergency contact person. Very important, crucial. I can't stress enough the importance of that. So we're almost coming to the end of our road. Oh, we've got one more commercial I want to go to right now, but we'll be right back. So please don't go away. Continue to join in. Give us a call, 515-605-9325. Press 1, and we'll talk about what's going on. Okay. I did, yeah. I went too far. Oh, here it is.
Tune in to Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear great topics and stories on grief and turn it into victory. Join Dr. Debbie Green to listen to stories of triumph and learn how to overcome. You are not alone in your life, and there is hope in the darkest hour. This is your time to learn strategies and solutions to improve your life. It's your time. So join Dr. Debbie Green with Soulful Solutions and call in on Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 515-605-9325 with comments and questions. Look to hear from you real soon. Join us every second Saturday of the month. Well, no, 3 p.m. Central Time here on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show for the neighborhood of joy. We'll have health conversations and finding healing with block and life. So call in 515-605-9325. Just press 1 to speak to the host. You can also join us live on the Female Solution Facebook page and YouTube channel. See you on the second Saturday on the Neighborhood of Joy. The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, we're here talking about what should you pack. But I just want to give accolades to all of my co-hosts, my sisters of the microphone. And also, I wanted to share with you our teen talent show that Higher Learning Network is providing. Zelda, our Monday host that provides stress strategies. Yes, we all need some strategies on how to work on our stress. But she also is extending to the youth. You know, we know we have to educate that youth beyond the classroom. So here's a teen talent, and I did not have that commercial, so I apologize. But please, please, please make sure you look for the Higher Learning Network Teen Talent Show. And on the last Saturday of each month, there'll be showcase, and you can actually join in and vote for your favorite person. And hopefully, the person that you know is one of the favorite people because you have introduced them to that teen talent show. And they're showcasing what they have. You know, the youth are our future. Yes, the youth are our future. So we got to educate them. And I always say travel is the best educational platform around. So not only do you teach them how to travel, but you give them the tools to be citizens of the world as they grow. If they don't know about what opportunities are there, they will never develop. And that is doing our human race a disservice. So you definitely want to make sure that we are in tune to our youth and we are providing them education in many ways. You say, oh, I don't have anyone, I don't have to worry about that. Yes, you do, because they're the ones that's at the counter when you're traveling. They're the ones at the grocery store when you're trying to purchase something. They are our future. They're going to be the ones pushing us around. Don't you want them to know how to push us around? Yes. There is a technique to that. If we don't give them the technique, they'll just push us over the top, and then we'll really be in a world of trouble. This show today has really been something that I have enjoyed. And there are a couple of other things that I want you to know as we go through our list of tips. And these tips that we're giving, they're not the only ones. There's so many more. And we kind of hop, skip, and a jump, but we were talking about what you can carry on your as you go through TSA. And we want to pack to kind of be a minimalist. And that way you don't have to worry about putting your luggage through the turnstile so they can pack it under the belly. You can keep your luggage. You don't have to worry about when you're deplaning that you have to go to retrieve your luggage and you got that long line and all those people are standing around and so many things. You can get your luggage and go right to the checkout and leave right out. Go to your transportation spot and leave right out. But there are certain things that you can and bring on, and that's so certain things that you cannot bring on. Water containers of liquid, you cannot bring this on, even though it's less than 3 ounces of liquid in here. The container itself is more. So now, if you dump all of this out and take the empty container through, that'll go through. That's no problem. I don't know. Make it make sense to me too. But okay, so but you can take this, you can have this empty, or you can have another kind of container with a hook on it, and you can take that through TSA. You can carry that on. I remember, don't take anything that you can't afford to lose. I say that because sometimes our luggage gets separated from us for many reasons. And then we're saying, oh, that was my favorite shirt, or that was my favorite dress, or that was the dress my grandmother wore whenever. And now it's gone. That was an heirloom. Don't travel with those things because they may get separated from you. Wear your heaviest shoes as you travel, and that way you don't have to worry about carrying them. When you're packing your luggage, pack the heavy things at the bottom. That way your luggage won't tip over as it stands up. So many times our luggage, tips over because it's not packed properly. You have to know how to navigate those things. Remember, I said take a blanket, a shawl, a sweater, something that you can interchange. That something that will not only cover your back, but also your knees. Sometimes we're subject to being in a situation where that air is coming directly down on a part of our body that we want to cover up. It could be the top of our head. I always wear a jacket that has a hood to it. Always wear a jacket that has a hood to it. I know people don't know about masks, but if my hood doesn't come down over my eyes as I sleep, because I'm not driving, I don't need to know what's going on. I've probably been up all night packing, making sure that I have everything, and just tired, or it's the first flight of the day before I typically wake up anyway. And I'm tired. I don't need to see what's going on outside. I don't need to see what's going on in the cabin. I just need to trust that everybody is doing their job properly and they'll get us there safely. So, take a mask, a face, this is not a face mask, but take a face mask, because if you want to as well, because we're all sitting on top of each other. And masks, I know they got popular with this last few years, but there was always some covering that I did, whether it was a scarf or a t-shirt, well, not a t-shirt, but a turtleneck, because people are sitting right on you, and they're coughing, they're yarning, they're talking, and the germs are spewing, and there's no open air to recycle in a closed environment, and you're subject to different things. So take care of yourself. It's not about what's going on in the world. You're taking care of yourself. So if you feel as though you need a mask, get you a mask. If not, protect yourself in another way. Have tissue. Have your earplugs, or chew your gum. Or if you don't have any gum, a lot of people say, oh, I forgot my gum. But that's all part of the packing accessories. Make sure that you prepare yourself. There's so many other things that we need for checking in. Make sure you have medication. If you are a medical recipient, you have medication. Make sure you carry your prescription medication on. I know everybody's using those cubes where, okay, today is Monday. Let me open up this clip and dump out Monday's medicine so I could take it. I remember I took Monday's medicine. I understand that. But you still have to have the actual containers of the medication. Carry that on. That is a must to carry on. If you must take your blood pressure, carry that on. Nowadays, you can have a watch. Uh, I'm not advertising for that organization that's coming out with that new thing, but if you are concerned, invest in yourself and get the peripherals, or you don't have to carry that big old heavy machine, and that takes up so much of your space in your carry-on because you want to carry certain things with you. Other personals, like things to take care of your hygiene, uh, cloths, and other things. Those need to go in a container that you can drop right down in your backpack or in your purse, depending on your purse if it's so big, or different things. And these things they're not that large. They're not even as large as a piece of paper or a notebook. You know, they're not that big. So, and it covers so much, and they're waterproof. And you can not only, I'm finding now that I'm beginning to pack more minimalistically, that what I carry in here will cover me all through my journey. Yeah, I don't need the big container of shampoo. I don't need the big container of body wash. I don't need that. You know, it's good for me to have, but if I don't have it, it's okay. They sell these in travel size. So if you need more than one, then even more than one is all right. Well, you can't, if it's just a carry-on, you can only have one or so. But when you get to the hotel or something, they might have what you need, complimentary. So that's something that you could use, and you could drop this right in your purse, you know, or in your backpack, or in your carry-on. Roll your clothes up when you put them in a Ziploc bag. Remember how Regina was talking about? Be a minimalist. Use same color coding for your slacks, your skirt, your dress, your shoes, your tops, the same color coding. Utilize that, and you will be okay. I know that sometimes we travel for business, so you have your basic business jacket that doesn't wrinkle, your business slacks for the young ladies, and different shirts. And if it's the same jacket, that's okay. And the only reason you got the same jacket on because it may be chilly in that office. Typically it is. But you still have business attire, and you're flexible. You got two slacks, a basic dress. I don't want to have to say the black dress, but you know, it's a basic dress. It could be orange, but it's basic. But if you have that more than one event and you've only got that black dress, then accessorize it with a different scarf or a different jacket. But pack minimally. I know you're not used to packing all the time, but oh my goodness, we're going to be doing some traveling. Everybody's traveling, and we're traveling not across the country, but we're going into other countries, other places that we had no idea we would even go to. And that's something else you have to be careful about when you're traveling. Medication. Some medications that are allowed in the United States are not allowed in other countries. So it's always good to know if you have a narcotic type of medication that you're taking, always find out if it's okay for you to use that. Now, having a travel advisor, here's where the advantages of having a travel professional help you navigate your travel, because you're busy doing your day to day. You're busy with going back and forth to work and taking care of the children, taking care of the other persons in your life, whether they be your parents, your children, your spouse, your significant other. You don't have time to focus or even know that there is a question about there. You have medical marijuana privileges, but that medical marijuana privilege does not, first of all, it is not approved for a federal property. So if you fly and they stop you and they question it and they take it from you, they have the right, because the airport is a federal property. It's under federal jurisdiction, and marijuana is not a federally mandated or acceptable product. It may be acceptable in your state, but it is not acceptable in other states. And it is not acceptable in other countries. So you don't want to get into a situation where the gentleman just last week, a couple of weeks ago, had to get off of the ship in a foreign country because he was on the ship with his medical marijuana. And he didn't know he wasn't supposed to have it. There are rules, and we have to adhere to them rules. We may not like them. We may think that they are unfair, but there are rules. There are rules that we have to adhere to. And that's what we here want to provide. That's why me, Move Around with Deborah, want to make sure that you are aware of these things. It is so important. Our mission, again, is to increase awareness and knowledge in the travel industry, because we're all traveling and we're all traveling more. Oh my goodness. I always like to see extra things. But did you know that it had been announced that a space hotel will be opening, is scheduled to open in 2027? A hotel, there's already space travel. If you're not aware, there's already space travel. But now there's going to be a space hotel. And it'll allow you to travel to the stars and back and get a new perspective on the universe. That's how far out it's going to be. Now, of course, we all know everybody's not going to be able to afford to stay in one of the rooms, dine at the gourmet restaurant, and then what even will the food taste like? I don't know. But and there's going to be entertainment. As a 3.5-day stay will set you back about $5 million. Now, there are people investing to build this. It's going to cost a person $5 million. Well, I hope it costs two people $5 million. I hope you can bring a friend. At $5 million, I don't know. But if you're paying $5 million, thank you very much. But the hotel itself is going to be shaped in a Ferris wheel, and it'll spin in just the same manner, to simulate gravity in its pods. And there is enough room to accommodate 280 guests. I know. We thought what the Jetsons, they had it all figured out way back then. There are even some villas available to buy as holiday homes for those who simply cannot get enough space. Now, although it may be 5 years to wait until the grand opening, but the Voyager station is already taking bookings. Say to infinity and beyond. This is all for real. This is for real. Can you imagine traveling into space? Now, maybe it's not something that we will be able to afford, but this is why we have to make sure our children are given the tools so they are able to be competitive in a world that is developing like this. And if you have any children who are interested in astrology or space travel or technology such as this, please, please, please open their opportunity to them to get involved with things like this. People are already working on them. People look at Virgin Galactic. People are already traveling to space. They may not be staying long, but they're already commercial travel into space. 20 years ago, it was like far-fetched, but don't allow it to be far-fetched in your mind now. Get those children into a situation where they're educating themselves, where they can compete with the opportunities that will be at hand when it's time for them to be able to compete. I cannot stress to you enough what the opportunities are in travel. And if you are interested in being a part of the travel industry, let me know. You can email me at deborah.thefemalesolution@gmail.com. Again, my email address is deborah.thefemalesolution@gmail.com. And if you have any questions or concerns or statements to follow up with this broadcast or this information, or you want to know some more about something, please, please, please email me, because I know I have some Facebook comments that I was not able to see because I am not I am not the engineer, but I am my own engineer. That's a holler out to help somebody. Help me. I appreciate it. I love you all, but it's time for us to go now. It's been a pleasure. We have and we will be here each and every day to provide the solution to your livelihood. And I know it's something that's going on in your life that you'll need help with. You're not sure? Just join us. Listen in.
60 seconds.
Remember, there are opportunities for us all around to get better in our life. God bless you all. Love you. Be safe in your travels.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating, empowering, interactive conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Gathering of the Griots with Asada. Wednesdays, Repairing Family Relationships with Naima and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Veggie Brunch Live with Angela. Fridays, Health and Well-Being with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Global Talks with Zana. Second Saturday, Walk in Your Divine Authority with Mama Joy. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. Fourth Saturday, be a judge on the virtual Teens, Tweens, and Tots Talent Contest. And fifth Saturday, join us on location as we conversate at the Elevate Cafe. Owner Jackie Brooks. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.